What makes a leader truly great? Is it the power they wield, the fear they inspire, or the vision they leave behind? When we look at Africa's history, one figure stands out again and again: the strongman. These were leaders who ruled with an iron fist, backed by military might, and often the silent fear of their people. They were the architects of their nations, but also, sometimes, their destroyers. Think of names that echo through history: Idi Amin in Uganda, Mobutu, Sese Seko in Zaire, Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. These weren't just presidents, they were larger-than-life figures. They built powerful personality cults, with their faces plastered on billboards, their names sung in national anthems, and their words treated as gospel. They promised stability, unity, and a break from the colonial past. And for a time, some delivered. In their pursuit of a unified nation, they often built impressive infrastructure. Roads cut through jungles, connecting once isolated communities. New schools and universities opened their doors, promising education for all. They spoke of Pan-Africanism and self-reliance, inspiring a sense of pride and a belief that Africa could chart its own destiny, free from foreign interference. Their leadership was decisive. When they spoke, things got done. There was no endless debate, no political gridlock. There was just a command, and an action that followed. But this decisiveness came at a steep, often brutal, price. To maintain absolute authority, opposition had to be silenced. Dissenting voices were not just ignored. They were often imprisoned, exiled, or worse. The media was controlled, political parties were banned, and a climate of fear settled over the land. People learned to whisper their criticisms, to look over their shoulders, to trust no one. The state's security apparatus became an instrument of control, not protection. Crucially, to ensure their power was unchallenged, these leaders systematically weakened the very institutions that are meant to hold power in check. The judiciary became a rubber stamp for the executive. Parliaments were filled with loyalists who dared not question the leaders' decrees. The civil service was hollowed out, replaced by a system of patronage where loyalty mattered more than competence. Everything revolved around one man. He was the state, and the state was him. This created a nation built on a foundation of sand. The problem with depending entirely on one individual is simple. What happens when that individual is gone? When the strong man eventually falls, whether through a coup, a revolution, or natural causes, a massive power vacuum is left behind. The institutions that could have managed a peaceful transition are too weak to function. The political culture of compromise and debate has been destroyed. The result, as history has shown us time and again, is often chaos. The very stability the strongman promised becomes his final, cruel illusion. The nation, which had been held together by the force of his will, fractures, ethnic tensions, once suppressed, can erupt with devastating violence. The economy, often plundered to enrich the leader and his inner circle, collapses, leaving ordinary people to suffer the consequences. The legacy is not one of strength, but of fragility and deep-seated trauma. So, what are the critical lessons Africa must draw from this painful chapter of its history? The first and most important lesson is this: never, ever build a nation around a single person. True national strength is not found in a messianic leader, but in resilient, independent, and trustworthy institutions. A country needs a system that works for everyone, regardless of who is in power. When the leader leaves, the state must endure. The second lesson is that silencing dissent is a recipe for disaster. A healthy society needs a free press, a vibrant opposition, and citizens who can speak their minds without fear. Criticism is not treason. It is a vital feedback mechanism that helps governments correct their course and avoid catastrophic mistakes. Forcing dissent underground only ensures that when it finally erupts, it will be explosive. The third lesson is that the rule of law is non-negotiable. Independent courts and empowered parliaments are not obstacles to progress. They are the guardians of it. They protect citizens from the abuse of power, ensure that laws are applied fairly to everyone, and provide a peaceful means of resolving disputes. When a leader places himself above the law, he sets a precedent that the law means nothing, and that only power matters. But does this mean we should discard everything from that era? Not necessarily. There are valuable ideas, kernels of truth, hidden within the strongman's legacy that we can reclaim and reimagine for a democratic age. The dream of national unity, for instance, is a powerful and necessary one. The idea of building a nation that transcends ethnic and tribal loyalties is more important than ever. We can pursue this goal not through force, but through justice, equality, and a shared sense of purpose. The drive for self-reliance and the ambition to build critical infrastructure are also worth keeping. Africa does need decisive leadership to tackle its immense challenges, from poverty to climate change. But this decisiveness should come from leaders who are accountable to the people, not from rulers who are above them. It should be leadership that empowers, not dominates. The era of the strongman is over. Or, at least, it should be. Africa doesn't need another singular figure who promises to solve all its problems. It needs something far more powerful and enduring. It needs strong, democratic institutions. It needs accountable leaders who serve the people, not the other way around. It needs systems of governance that are transparent, just, and built to last for generations. True strength isn't concentrated in one man's hands. It's distributed among millions of citizens. It's found in a constitution that is respected, in courts that are fair, in a press that is free, and in people who are empowered to shape their own destiny. The future of Africa lies not in returning to the past, but in building a new kind of strength, the strength of a united, free, and democratic people. The vision must be bigger than any single leader, because the future must outlive us all. If you believe that Africa's future depends on strong systems, not strong men, then you are in the right place. Help us continue this vital conversation. Like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, share it with your network, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can change the narrative and help write the next, brighter chapter of Africa's story. Thank you for watching.